Let's see.
Let's go live. Ooh,
Let's go live.
we're
Oh,
live.
we're live. We're live. Okay,
Woo!
now Misha, I know we're live, but this is station identification. I'm
Yes,
checking to
sir.
see if I'm live on IG because it says IG, but I don't know. I don't know if it's actually live. I don't think it
I
is.
have to
We'll
go to
see.
your. I go to
Yeah,
you and check you.
yeah.
Let's see. Let's
You know
let's do
what?
this. We're checking. Are we
We're
on the
having
same bat
trouble.
channel?
It's
Same bat
possible stream was
time?
in deleted destination. This can occur. Oh, you know what? It ain't on IG. That's okay. We're on
Okay,
Facebook and
we're on
YouTube,
Facebook
so
and YouTube.
it's all
We're
good.
good. Two
Yeah,
out of
it's all
three is pretty
good.
good.
Yeah. Hey, look, and the RTMSP server URL is something something, but it's all good. Ain't nobody got time for that. Look, we ain't got time for that because we're live. So
We're live. Yeah.
all right, save change. We're live. So, what's up, everybody? Y'all know the brand, P&Z Life Coaching. Y'all know the man, Coach Mike James, and I'm back again with another dope, impactful conversation. So, I've been getting them in left and right, and I always tell y'all that it's exciting for me to do this because it's typically people that I know or that I'm connected with in some way. And Misha, this is like a first. This is a first right here. So y'all know when I'm on TikTok streaming live or I'm doing some of my videos, I say that I'm a life coach, speaker, event MC, facilitator for Certified Life Coach Institute, and founder and owner of P&Z Life Coaching. And I talk about my
Whew.
mission. That's my station identification, right? So people by now, Misha, they should know Certified Life Coach Institute because I'm always saying it. And people will say, Mike, are you teaching? Are you teaching this week? Are you teaching this weekend? So you are my first to do any kind of interview with me from COCI. So there you go.
Yeah. And we're
You
both
know,
alumni and we're both facilitators there. And
mm,
we're a happy group.
this is awesome. Yeah. I tell people about the team. So here it is. I like this because as people go back and watch this, and for everyone that's going to view live, you can see. So Misha, I just did my first 102.
102.
And
Yeah.
Sam, yes, my partner in power, Sam was there, and it was so
Oh,
cool, So it was cool. Sam and I started the journey together, so he was there as well, co-piloting, and it was just amazing. And I was telling them, I said, y'all see what I mean when I say you can't go wrong with whatever facilitator you have because
yeah.
everybody's just that awesome. And I
Yeah.
was like, future reference, when people ask you, you refer a friend, just tell them it doesn't matter who you have, they're all amazing. And I make
Yes.
sure I go through
Yes.
all the names. I
Yes.
say whether you have Dan, Troy, Sam, Misha, myself, whoever, it's going to be awesome.
Yes.
So I just have to
Yes.
make sure that's known.
And it's not just because we're awesome, but we attract really awesome students,
Come on now. Come
right?
on. What?
Okay, we're
Yes.
awesome too, but I'm just saying we attract really cool students,
Period. Because what
right?
you put
Yeah,
out is what comes back to you,
right.
right? And yeah, we are awesome. First, that's the foundation.
Yeah. Okay, we are
And we
awesome.
attract awesome students. So
Yes.
it just makes everything awesome. So it's the
Yeah.
awesomest. That's
And
a
you know what I
word.
just realized? Yes, this is a first. You're bringing me on your show.
Hmm.
And remember, you're going to be our guest next week on our webinar.
That's
So
right. And
people
it's
need to know
here.
about that.
Come
Yeah.
on. It's
Yeah.
here,
So,
which is amazing. And
yeah,
just even reaching out and to let the people know we established that before this.
that's true. We did.
So,
That was two months ago.
I
And
mean,
then
come
all of a
on.
sudden, Misha published a book, and Mike's like, yeah, come on, come on.
Look, Misha published a book and Mike's like, let's make it happen. What do you need? How do we do it? Let's go. So let's get into it. Impactful
Let's do it.
conversations. This, first of all, I like to give a kind of explanation to why I do what I do, right? So, when I did my YouTube page, one of the things, literally one of the reasons why I created a YouTube page was to have something to get my motivation out there. I started some years back on Facebook just doing these live videos and motivating and whatever. But one of the main reasons is I wanted to use my platform to put out people that I know that are doing some amazing things. So my
Mm.
first interview series was Black Business Booming. I just released the live premiere of episode 56
Wow.
earlier today, Misha. So that was awesome. And then I was like, you know what? I got other amazing connections and friends and family and people doing amazing things too. So it just dropped in my mind one day. I came up with impactful conversations. So
Mhm.
here I am now, and I'm not sure how many. I know I have at least probably close to 15 now impactful conversations, and it's just an amazing way to go deeper beyond just business and talk about ways that people are making an impact. So
Yeah,
here we are. Before we
here
get
we are.
started, I just want you to take a moment, Misha, and introduce yourself and however you want to the audience, and any background information or what you want to share in this space before we get up all in the impactful conversation.
Okay. So I am a quirky, funny, silly, playful human that grew up in Berkeley, California and Oakland, California. I'm a teacher. Well, I'm not teaching, so to speak. I was a middle school, high school, and community college teacher, French and Spanish. So I'm trilingual. I'm a singer and a songwriter, and now I'm an author. Woo! And what else do I say about me, real quick? I teach at CLCI like Mike does. I'm a facilitator. Awesome facilitators. Fabulous. Well, let's do alliteration. Fabulous facilitators. And Mike, let's see what else, what else, what else, what else. I am a mom. I raised 5 children, birthed 3 of them. Um, and I'm a coach and I'm a speaker and I'm a leadership development training facilitator who has done work. I got awarded from the NIH CEO Award, National Institute of Health, for our trainings with them. I've done work with Airbus. I've done work with school districts. I'm hoping to do work with hospitals and law enforcement. And really, it's about, where I am now is I really want to center empathy and emotional intelligence. I want more people to have this ability, because it's not innate for everybody to be empathic. It's some people have to learn it, right? Just like
Yeah.
we learn in coaching, we have to learn to be present and
Yeah.
listen more, right? So yeah, so that's me in a nutshell, and I'm 5'1".
I
I'm
love
really
it.
small. Well, I'm not. I'm short. I'm short. I'm not small in all the areas that one would think of
Wait.
small.
Wait, Misha, stop. So already early on, I want people to know that this is the type of fun that we have, right, with our amazing staff and everybody, especially you and I. By the way, Misha, I got to share this with you. In that class, right, at least like 4 of the students or the coaches, I don't say students, I say coaches.
Yeah, because they're
At
coaches
least 4 of
now.
the coaches that were in that 102, they took our class that we co-piloted
Oh,
together. Yeah, and so they
oh, how
even
sweet.
someone asked about you. It's like, how's Misha's shoulder? And I was like, well, she's just on the other side of surgery, so I
Yeah,
can't
let's see,
answer that
everybody. This
definitive
is
for
my
you.
big old
Yeah,
sling that I gotta hang on to.
yeah. So just the fun. And Misha, all that stuff. You are an amazing human being. And when I did the post on IG, I said an amazing soul, because that's what you
Mm.
are. But I love the fact that you started out said quirky, and we have so much fun, because you said all that amazing and serious stuff, and then you ended with, and I'm 5'1". Like, okay, awesome,
Well,
thank
it's
you.
called the humor sandwich, right? You got humor, you got serious, you got humor.
Period.
We got to play.
Misha,
We got
this
to
tea
play.
is so good.
Oh, what you
I,
got?
I
What
just
are you
wanted to share
drinking?
that. So it's
And you had a quote on
yogi.
there
It's
too.
the yogi.
Okay.
Yep, I shared that. Let me share this with the people. It's the yogi lemon ginger. So give thanks for
Okay.
unknown blessings that are already on the way. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
the Trader Joe's organic blood orange tea. So
Ooh, you
that lemon
mix them.
ginger with the blood orange, oh
Oh,
my goodness, and
yum.
honey. I put honey in all my tea, and it's so amazing. But that ain't what we're
And
here
you're
to talk
not
about,
drinking caffeine because you don't need caffeine.
right? Right? I don't. And coffee is my favorite beverage. And it's like, why? Why are you doing that to us,
Well,
Mike?
I'll just stick to the water.
Why are you doing this to us, Mike? Having more caffeine like you need it. All right, so back to it. So Misha, you shared like where you're from, what you are, all of those descriptors that make you you. But
Mhm.
let's talk about for a minute, jump into this impact here. So take a moment and just describe whatever you want to share with the audience, like your background, kind of early life and upbringing, or kind of some of
Mhm.
the things that you think about in your upbringing.
Yeah. So, it's interesting. I never felt like I fit in.
Mm,
I didn't really feel as a child that I belonged. I was different from my siblings. I was different from my classmates. I was, sometimes I was teacher's pet. Sometimes I was asked to help other students because I excelled in English and math. That didn't last very long. That middle school cut, yeah. Anyway, everything
Done.
changed. Yep. And then I was also very emotional, so I would be labeled as too sensitive, too emotional, too serious, or not mature because I was playful and silly. And that actually carried on all the way even into graduate school, where the department chair of my graduate department said, you're too immature, where you can't take you in for this particular position I had applied for. And gosh, I just realized it even carried on into last year when I was going to work for someone. And they said, I don't know, you've got your rainbow hair and, you may not be a fit for the culture. And I was like, wow, because I am very playful and silly, but I'm also really mature. So I've been a chameleon my whole life. From the very young years to even today, I'm a chameleon. I kind of blend in where I need to be authentically. I'm not just pretending to be somebody that I'm not.
Right.
But sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So from my childhood up to today, I've really had to work on loving myself. I've really had to kind of find empathy for myself. And I've had to be okay with the fact that I'm an emotional human. I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
I'm an empath. And so I think that's impacted the way I relate to people, the way I see other people, the way I welcome other people into my life, because everybody has a story. Everybody has stuff. I don't know if you cuss on the show, but I won't. Everybody has stuff.
This
And,
is okay. So Misha, this is YouTube and Facebook right now, and look, let me say this, Misha, because that's a perfect point right there. Now, this ain't about me, but I was raised in a very strict, traditional, Southern religious household, and you know what I learned after years? Words are just that, words. We give the power to them. It's just like if someone said you're ugly, like there's two people on this screen right now that are beautiful. So
Yes.
I don't know.
Claim it.
Has no power, right? It has
That's
no
right.
power. So we give words power. And Felicia and I, shout out to my wife, we watched a series or documentary. I don't know what it was. I think it was a series on, I think it was Netflix, maybe, the history of swear words. And what we learned is none of them had the origin of what we made them into. And it's like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this is what I'll say. Say what comes authentically and say what you will. This is my show. Say what you will.
Okay, well, everybody, here's a trigger warning. Everybody has their shit. Everybody.
Period.
And so, we talk about in our trainings, everybody has biases, right? Everybody. So we're all human. And so when we meet somebody, what I noticed growing up was not everybody met with me with that same empathy that I carried for them. And so, and it takes a lot of work sometimes. Being a teacher for 30 years, I met a lot of different kinds of students and a lot of different kinds of parents.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so each time I met somebody new, that's who I met. I never looked at students' cumulative files before they came into my classroom because I wanted to get to know them when they walked in my door. Right? So as a coach, when I meet somebody new, they get to tell me what they want to tell me. Because I really felt like as a young person, I didn't get that same opportunity. And so that's when you talk about impactful, that impacted me. I want to make sure I carry that impact forward in a positive way for people who don't feel seen, who don't feel heard, who feel judged, who feel shunned, etc. So.
Yeah, I love that. It's so beautiful. And like you said, I think, people ask me a lot of times, Misha, like, well, what makes a good coach or what's the qualifications and all of that? I said, for one, I think, first of all, you have to have an ability to exercise often forgotten muscle, the listening muscle, right? And then compassion, just, compassion to be an open-minded individual that can respect anybody's perspectives, upbringing, background, whatever, so, and even what you were sharing there, it just goes to show how even your experience teaching and everything that you've done to this point, how amazing that is. So now you share some things there, and you talked about being that chameleon, and some things there. So when you think about your upbringing history, what are some of the impactful moments for you growing up that maybe even now you look back and it jumps out to you?
Well, I will always remember my 3rd and 5th grade teacher. Miss Harris. She was one and the same. She was my third grade teacher, and then she was my fifth grade teacher. She just, in fact, as we finished elementary school, fifth grade, she led us in singing "The Greatest Love of All" by Whitney Houston. And she just had so much patience and love for each and every one of us. So that was incredibly impactful. I will remember some very difficult experiences. I'm a survivor of sexual assault, date rape, and that kind of trauma. So I will say those out loud because impact doesn't always necessarily mean good things, right? I've had some challenges and struggles. I was held up at gunpoint when I was working at a restaurant at 15 and a half. And those impacted me because I realized that the fear was so intense that I kind of did more damage to myself as a result. And so learning how to kind of accept the fear and walk through it, knowing that I've already today survived 100% of my trauma, right?
Come on.
And so, every time I had a traumatic experience, but every time I had a beautiful experience, knowing there could be more. There could be more difficulties, there could be more joy, but to keep going because there's more. Right. And I really want to. So the impact for me is that I want to really spend as much of my energy and my time focused on the positive, focused on what's going well, focused on loving people, loving myself. And then I think another impactful experience was definitely all the labors and deliveries of my children. I never knew my body could do such a thing.
Right. Oh.
I never knew.
Yeah.
And then watching them become adults and just knowing that what I've learned in coaching, right? They're whole human beings. They're not broken. I don't need to fix them. So taking myself out of that micromanaging, taking myself out of that controlling, it took me a little bit. I'm still kind of working on it because I'm a masterpiece in progress. I'm not perfect. But yeah, I think all of those things impacted my desire to work on having healthy relationships with myself and with other people, which is what created me becoming a relationship coach. Supporting people and really nurturing that ability to listen, nurturing that ability to trust their own intuition and to be kind to one another and to ourselves.
Yeah.
So I think that answered your question. Did I answer your question?
You answered my question and put a little extra sauce on the top too.
Okay, good.
It was perfect.
My last name, remember, is Safran, so it's a little spice, right?
There you go.
We put the saffron on top.
The spice of life. You said something that's so amazing. This idea, and for any past CLCI alum, future CLCI students out there it is. That's first take of what it means to even be a coach. And let's be real, a human being. Like the fact that none of us are perfect, who are we to? And I'll play around with this in class and say recovering fix it here, and I'll raise my hand. But honestly, who are we to?
2 hands.
Right? You stop, not the right one.
I know,
relax,
not the right one. Okay.
You rest. But Misha, it's like, honestly, who are we to think that we can fix somebody when we're going through each and every day and we're not perfect? And to go back on the flip side of that, I want to highlight something you said, because I say this, I heard it somewhere and I repeat it, and you just mentioned it. You've passed 100% of the trauma that you've been through. For everybody watching, you have a 100% success rate at every test you've had in life. Why? Because you're still here. We get the opportunity to help someone from what we learned and what we thought was a failure or whatever the descriptor we put on it. So that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Next question.
I will say, before you say that next question, I'm going to pause there. So I also will be very honest and transparent that I suffer from depression and anxiety. So when there's the depression that I faced in the fall, in this past autumn, I'm lucky to be alive right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very lucky to be alive. So when I say I have survived 100% of my trauma, I can say that with pride and also joy and excitement, but also a little bit of nervousness, because life can get hard.
Yeah.
And that's why we need support systems. That's why every coach needs a coach. That's why every therapist needs a therapist. That's why every friend needs a friend, right? Because life can be hard, but we can do hard things. We do hard things. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I love that. And that's, you went into it. I was going to say the next question is kind of a segue from that. And even when you talked about that and that ability, I think one of the things, Misha, is that a lot of times we don't voice out things enough. right?
Mhm.
Because we think it's taboo, or, oh, you can't say this or you can't say that, or if I say this, people are going to look at me. So what? I'm
Mhm.
going to look at you like, wow, that's a person who has some self realization and maybe have went on that journey of self discovery, which I think is the most important journey anyone can ever go on. So
Yeah,
it's a beautiful
absolutely.
thing. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, what is your idea of impact as an adult? The Misha that sits in front of me, what is your idea of impact?
It's being my authentic self,
Mm.
being transparent. Look, I'm not running for president. And yes, at some point I did inhale. Okay. So I'm just going to
Ba-doop,
say,
bing.
I grew up,
Wait,
I grew
let me get my drumsticks.
up.
Ba-doop, ping.
I grew up in Berkeley and Oakland. What do you expect, right? I don't do any of that stuff anymore. But I have to bring my authentic, true self
Hmm.
because I'm not, I make mistakes. I do.
Right.
But, and some people will define me by those mistakes. But if I define myself by those mistakes, I'm in trouble.
Mm.
And so as an impact, the impact I want to make today for myself, for my children, for the other people in the community in the world, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
So if we can grow from those mistakes, admit them, and show up and change the way we show up so that we're not repeating those mistakes, then we're golden.
Wow.
But if we sit in those mistakes and keep making them over and over and over again, then we can be defined by our mistakes, right? But if we are willing to do the work it takes to make that shift, okay, I made a mistake. Now what do I do with this? Then we don't have to be defined by our mistakes and we get to start over again. We get to be fresh and out there and living our lives. But I think so many times people will hold on to the mistakes. And
Mm.
now, I'm not talking about, well, this is like you said, taboo, like rape and murder and all those kinds of things. Those are awful, terrible things. But I've even witnessed people forgive those who've murdered their family and friends. I've
Hmm.
seen people forgive those who've been raped or those who have raped.
Hmm.
And it's like, for me, I have to think about, have I forgiven those people that did those things to me? I don't know that I've actually, I mean, I certainly haven't tracked them down to forgive them.
Right.
But in living my life and honoring myself and my experiences, in some form, that is forgiveness because they made me who I am today.
Mm.
Right? I'm resilient. I endure. Not that I'm saying come rape me. That's terrible. That sounds awful. I'm being very
Right.
serious
Not
on
saying
this. I'm
that.
not saying that because I don't need that lesson again. But what I
Right.
think it's really important to say is that we are defined by our experience, and yet we don't need to be defined by our mistakes.
Hmm.
And so if someone's making a change, they're making an effort, it's going to take some time for certain people to forgive and to love and to move through that. But we have to forgive ourselves first. Like I have to be
Mm.
on the top of my list to forgive myself
Yeah.
for whatever mistakes I've made. And
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
hard.
yeah. That is. Wow. I mean, interview over. That impactful. That
I
was impactful.
don't have the mic to
Man.
drop. Oh, wait, I'm not
That,
going to drop mic. Wait, no, you're right there. Wait,
I
wait.
say
Oh,
that all the
I'm
time
just
in
kidding.
chats. Drop. Look, I'll take the
Oh, there
pop
you
filter off my other
pop
microphone.
filter.
Boom. Drop mic. I mean, oh my goodness. I the question was, what is your idea of impact as an adult? And everything that you said, and Misha, I'm looking to the side because I'm like, I need to share this out because it's going to be posted. But I'm like, some people need to get in here and see this live. This is magic. And I'm looking at us and it's a lag over here. But I'm like, this right here is just so, the way you answered that and impactful. I love, and I knew this about you from the first time I met you. When you can be your authentic self, unapologetic, authentic, and realize that things happen, and it's to build that resilience, how you bounce back from it, what you do, how you're able to stand strong, full as your human self and state things and put a name to things, that idea of name it to tame it.
Yeah.
That's a power. That's empowerment, man. And for so many people, they never get to that point because they never get to the point of tapping into them, and that
Well, and
this
that,
that whole process is tough. Like you said, it's hard.
yeah. So you go from name it to tame it to feel it to heal it,
Mm.
right? Yeah, I
Woo.
mean, you name it. Okay, now what? That kind of brings it down to the real surface here. It's not taboo anymore. But then if you don't feel it, you're not going to heal it,
Mm. I'm writing
right?
that down because
And I didn't make
woo.
it up. I didn't make it up, but
Look,
I
that's
wish I could
okay.
have.
Look, that's okay because when I quote people, I'll say I don't know if they made this, but
But
I
they
don't
said,
I don't know if they made this, but I heard my friend Misha say, not only name it to claim it, because that's the thing in life too. There's journeys, right? And
Mhm.
we do part of a journey. We don't want to keep going because it gets harder.
It
So
gets
name it
hard.
to claim it, but then feel
Name it
it
to
to heal
tame it
it.
and
Name it to
claim it.
tame it.
Ooh,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
name
You
it to
said
tame it and
claim and
claim it.
tame. Now you said, I heard you
Wow.
say name it
Yeah,
to
I
tame it.
did.
And now you just said name it to claim it. So now we get to name it to tame it and claim it. And
And
now
then
we have
feel
to
it
feel it to
to
heal it.
come on back here. Boom. Two mic drops. And what was that? 5 minutes? Oh my God, Misha. This is so amazing. You know what, Misha? One thing about it,
You're so funny.
I don't care if it's one person, 30 people, whatever, when I do this, because I tell people all the time, you know, you, check your web,
Mhm.
meaning not circle, because two parts of, I think, I'm still that high school athlete. I think of if I'm on a track, you and we may be running and never meet each other, right?
Yeah.
Because you're that much faster than me, or
You're
vice
right.
versa.
Yeah, vice versa.
But a web, we're all connected like a spider web. You can see the
Yeah,
connections of all the lines. And so I say, check your
absolutely.
web. If you feel like there's nothing good going on in the world, and you feel like, oh, I have all hope, oh, I've lost all hope in humanity, well, that means you're in the wrong circle and web of humanity,
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you. Oh, that
Well, and that's why
just
when
blew
we
my
start to
mind.
name things and we show up as our unapologetic, authentic self, we start to identify who really is supposed to be in our life,
Mm.
right?
Oh,
So,
Misha, this
yeah,
this is amazing. What took us so?
yeah.
You know what? It's going to be this much that much more impactful and awesome when I'm sharing this space with you all. So this is so awesome. Okay, so let me calm down because I'm so excited. This is just so
Take a deep
good.
breath.
So now another question for you, Misha. So your adult self and everything that you've been through, everything that's got you to this point, what is your idea of community? What does community mean to you?
Hmm, that's a great question. So, what's interesting about that is a friend of mine asked me if I were to have an image, what would what words would I use to create that? Now you see the image behind me.
Mm-hmm.
This was created by an AI bot. And
Wow.
so community for me, the words that I use, I told her warmth, heart-centered community where our colors are as diverse as our people and intense as our feelings.
Mm.
And this is what the AI bot came up with. And that's for me,
Wow.
that's community where we accept each other, we see each other, we know that there's differences, we know that there's similarities, there's intensity, right? There's feelings, there's diversity. And yet we all come together because there's love and there's
Mm.
warmth.
Wow.
So that's community for me.
Wow. We got a few people in. Shalonda, what's up? Lace, how y'all doing?
Oh,
If
hi
y'all watching,
everybody.
share this out. This has been amazing already. Misha, you got to go back, and it's so timely because now it's the new but not new thing, the hottest thing since sliced bread. We're talking about AI and everything, right?
I
And
know.
chat GPT,
And it's
everything's
got its
big
good
now.
things and it's got its bad things.
Exactly, right? It's unintended consequences. There's
Yes,
always a flip
yes.
side to the
That's right.
coin, right?
That's
It's
right.
unless you have the double. I can't. Let me put that
Oh,
down.
you magician, you. No, no,
But
no, not a magician. Prankster.
prankster,
Prankster.
right? Um, okay, Misha, go back and say that again. What you said that meant, and because I want people to hear that again. Like what this picture behind you, the AI bot created this from. What did you say again? Because that is so
So I
amazing.
asked for warmth, sun's warmth, for a heart-centered community with colors that are as intense as our feelings and diverse as our people.
Mm. Colors that are as intense as our feelings and diverse as our people. And I love that because the heads are hearts
They are.
and the colors
And
are
just,
different colors. I see the sun.
yeah, it's
That blew my
amazing,
mind.
right?
Now I've been
Yeah.
seeing this all this time and even your website and now your
Yeah.
explanation. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it blew me away when
Whoa.
because I didn't know what she was doing. She said, if you were to have an image, what words would you use for it? And
Wow.
she sent it to me, and I'm like, I started crying, like, oh my gosh.
Mm.
And I ended up using it not only on my website and in here, but on my book cover. So I'm obviously addicted to this image.
I mean,
But there are worse
rightfully
things to
so.
be addicted to, right?
Come on. We talked about it. I did inhale.
I did at some point inhale. That's right. I'm not running for president. There are too many things on my
But
case.
no, but Misha, oh wow, I mean, that's just so beautiful. And
Yeah.
look, I in the live premiere that I did earlier today, I was saying this is why I like the conversations, whether it's Black Business Boom and Impactful Conversations, because you get so much of the behind the scenes that you just don't see,
Yeah.
And we don't need a network to have us. We don't need to be on any of the major networks to share this. Use what you have, start where you are, and just grow.
Yeah.
Grow. Ah, so beautiful. Misha, you just blowing my mind here. That's my
Well,
Misha.
connection is the key, right? We need to have
Yes.
connection.
Connection. Oh,
I mean,
connection is the key. We're
yeah,
dropping a lot of like quotes and stuff.
I know. We got to
Like
start writing them down.
I need to start doing research, Misha, to see which ones are already
Oh,
trademarked.
right. Yeah, yeah, that's true, huh?
You gonna be like, you gonna be like, Coach, you gonna be like, Mike, that new shirt you got looks real familiar.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, wait a minute, Mike, come on, Mike.
Attribution. We're going to have to figure it
Right,
out.
right. At the bottom, also Coach Misha,
Oh, yeah, there
Coach
you
author,
go.
Coach author, dope soul, mother, etc.,
Aw,
etc., best-selling author, Misha. Yep, I got you. I got you.
thank
Give
you.
credit where
Thank
credit is
you.
due. All right.
It's so funny to hear best selling. Yeah, I was number one seller for a day, but hey, I was number one seller.
For a day, you
For a
claim it.
day.
You know what
I
though?
claim it.
You
I
know what
claim
that
it.
means? For
What does that mean?
the rest of your career as an author, you can just put number one selling author. Because that's what happens,
I
right?
know, but it feels so
Nobody
awkward to
it
claim
does,
that.
but Misha, no,
Okay, you're
Misha.
right.
Let me
You're
let me
right.
hey, I ain't no coach right now. Let me
You're
let me
right.
be let me be brother Mike, encourage you. Because guess what? People don't stay best-selling authors. They may be
Right.
best-selling author for a week
Yeah.
or a month. It's not
Yeah.
forever, but you ain't gonna never take that title back. Once you won it,
That's
once you
true.
win a Grammy, they don't say ex Grammy, past Grammy. No, they say Grammy award
Only one
winning.
time Grammy winner.
No, it's for
No.
life. You got it. So scratch
I
that. We
know.
gon'
And
we
that's
gon'
sad because they call presidents presidents for the rest of their life too,
I
which they shouldn't
know.
be called presidents.
No, not at
Anyways, that's a
all.
different
That's
conversation,
a
isn't
whole
it?
different conversation. Maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Okay.
No, but yeah, it's you claim that because you
Yeah,
earned it. At
you're
some point,
right.
you earned that, right?
You're right. Yes.
So I love it. So Misha, here we go. You
Mike,
ready for this one? Let me put my seatbelt on.
I'm always ready.
What if anything that you're working on today, professionally, to have an impact?
A lot of things. I have to kind of narrow it
Just gonna say,
down.
I was just say a lot.
I should
I
probably
know
narrow
a
it
lot.
down. Um, well, let's see. Okay, what is one thing?
No, it doesn't have to be one. It could be anything. You could look.
All right,
Misha,
I'll
take
say
your time.
I'll try. I'll do three. Right, three times the charm. Okay, so one thing is that I love. My partner and I run a group called Women Who Love Women. It's called the Conscious Couples Community, and so we support women who love women to have nurturing, loving, healthy relationships, and I
Hmm.
love it. The other thing is, obviously, and we'll talk more about this perhaps in my book, which is I'm supporting teachers and students. I really believe in digestible support for everybody, but really kind of supporting people in knowing that they actually can be empathic and that there's really well, something we do on our webinar that you're going to be joining us for. Teaching people that when I have panelists come on my webinar, that the attendees, the viewers are not getting the opportunity to agree or disagree with my panelists' experiences. They're learning to hear the experiences, feel the discomfort, and understand that what the panelists are saying is real. And so I think that's really impactful. Kind
Yeah.
of teaching people, especially white people, to understand that your feelings won't kill you. and that it's important to hear the voices of others and the experiences of others, because that's how, like, that you and I are connecting. We are learning about each other and
Right.
understanding each other and appreciating each other because we're learning more about each other. Right? We're just that nature anyways. The two of us have that kind of loving nature where we receive people and it's good from the beginning. But there are other people that need more work at that. And so I feel like that's part of the work that I'm doing, is supporting other people to welcome people in, right? That's an inclusion and
Yeah.
belonging.
Yeah.
And then I guess the final impact is that when I am walking around or on the airplane, I will stop someone and say, "Oh, you have such a beautiful smile." So random acts of kindness,
The
right? I think
simple
that's a really
things.
important, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Y'all hear that? It ain't gotta be much. It ain't
It
gotta be
doesn't.
much. Just stay in your lane and own it, and
Yeah.
leave the best tire tracks footprint that you can in your lane. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
making an impact. People think it always has to be this big, this has to be this grandioso things. No, just make an impact daily. I love that.
Yeah.
You said it, Misha. So let's do it.
Thank you.
Let's just drop the mic on it. Let's talk about what got you to be the number one selling author. Let's talk about this book, this project, this thing that is now. I When I shared on IG about the interview, I said, and see how. Good job. It's there.
I did it.
It
Is it
ain't
there?
faded in the green
It's
screen.
not faded in the green screen.
So
Okay, hold on.
I said, and
Uh-oh.
see, you got to keep your face behind it. I
I
told
gotta
you,
keep my
it's
face
got to
behind
block
it.
your face.
No.
Wait a minute. Well, we were good, but there it is, people. The book. The book. Take a moment and just talk about the book, and take as much time as you want. Like, how did you come up with it? What? Because
Just show you now.
I said your heart, right?
Yes.
I said on the IG post how you could take a piece of her heart with you. So just take a moment to talk, because even as you hold it up, and when you were talking to us about it, like the COCI, just the pride that you put into that. So tell us about it.
Yeah. So it's called A Teacher's Companion: How to Center Empathy and Emotional Well-Being for Yourself and Your Students. And it is, oh, and I have a student, an alumni, who wrote a blurb. So,
Nice.
as a former student of Miss Safran, it is evident that her passion for teaching is still as strong as ever, and her book is a testament to her years of experience and dedication to the craft. Her ability to create a welcoming and engaging classroom environment made learning a joy, and her dedication to each and every student's success was evident in everything she did. Overall, A Teacher's Companion is a valuable resource for both new and experienced teachers alike. And that's my former student, Madison Thompson.
Wow.
And so thank you. It's very
Shout out to
exciting.
Madison.
I know, right? I actually didn't cry this time when I read it.
Look, that's amazing.
So basically what I did was, so I literally started writing this in 2008 when I was in the heart of my teaching, and I was struggling. I was going through a rough time, and I wasn't showing up very well in the classroom. And so I would get home, and I was also raising 3 kids because my husband and I had divorced. And I would get home, and I would think about all the things that I shoulda, coulda, woulda done, right? So I started writing stories, leaving the students' names out, of course, and like, what did I do here? What did I do well there? What could I learn from there? Fast forward, I stopped writing, and life took over. A year and a half ago, noticing that the pandemic was an opportunity to fulfill some goals, I started writing again. And what I decided was, I basically took 30 years of my teaching and threw it into 53 stories. And people ask, why 53? Well, there's 52 weeks in the year, but there's not a full, teachers don't teach 53 years unless they work 53 weeks, unless they work summer school. But the idea is that it's digestible. So each week, there's anywhere from 2 to 7 paragraphs. It's a story, it's an anecdote. It's something I experienced as a teacher with my students. And then there's a question to think about. And then there's journaling space. And so the idea is that I really ask teachers, don't read this all in one weekend. Don't even read it in 6 months. Maybe you read 1 story a week. Maybe you read 1 story a month. But really bite-sized pieces so that you can marinate your biases or where you're at with your own self-care or what your expectations are, because expectations can breed resentments, right? And they can turn the classroom into chaos. Are you moving too fast with your curriculum? Are you moving too slowly? How are you meeting the diverse needs of the students? but it offers you a digestible opportunity each week to think about one concept, not what they throw staff development at us, which is like 30 concepts in 3 days, right?
Yeah.
So, and then at the end of each week, there's a positivity chart where in the morning they can identify how would they like the day to go, and in the evening they can reflect on one thing that went positive, not
Wow.
what sucked, and then set an intention for the next week. So my hope is that it's, like I said before, digestible, that teachers can not say, oh, I'm a horrible teacher, so I have to read this, but oh, I want to make a better impact in my life for me and for my students, so I'm going to read this. Right? And
Wow.
I'm going to take time to marinate the ideas that are in here so I can show up as the best version of myself when I walk into that classroom.
Wow. Man, you know how you hear stories and different things from different professions and things that you never maybe had an interest in, but you can hear an interview or someone talk about it, and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
man, why didn't I want to do that? Like, I want to be an educator and have one of Misha's trainings. That's so beautiful. It's a superpower, right? To be in a space of teaching, an educator, anything where you are sharing your knowledge and your passion to others
Mm-hmm.
to make that impact. That's impactful in and of itself.
Well,
I
that's why we
say,
have such a good time at CLCI, because that's what
come
we
on,
do.
period, right? It is so gratifying,
Yeah.
3 days, 3 intense days that we do this, and it's like pretty much all day. People, a lot of times they'll say, they're used to me saying it now. They'll ask me about a certain thing or something. I'm like, I'm teaching this weekend, or I'm teaching this week, and I know in the back of their minds they think, well, you can't do anything else. Like, no, it's all day. My mind is so focused
Oh, yeah.
on us showing up, because it's a
Yeah.
lot, and it's energies and everything you're dealing with. So I know for educators where it's not just 3 days, but it's week in and week out.
Oh, yeah. I had long hours, long days, and I had to learn to take care of myself.
Yeah.
By the end of my teaching career, I wasn't going in at 6:30 in the morning and leaving at 5.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I couldn't do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So.
Misha, I already knew this. I knew you were a rock star, but now I know that you're a rock star, superhero, and just dope, just amazing. Like,
You're so funny.
not that I didn't know all this already, but this just solidifies it. And again, that's why I love these conversations that I have with people, because you get so much beyond the top layer of the onion,
Oh, yeah.
and we can get to the core that really makes us cry, right? Of
Oh,
the onions
yeah.
was is when we peel as long as this onion is sitting there on the counter, you're good. But when you start to
If you start
peel
to
it,
peel
it's
it or
like,
cut it,
whoa,
oh,
whoa,
yeah.
I feel that. And I even
Yeah.
love what you were talking about with how you direct it, like for the teachers when you get this book. And I would say even human,
Mhm.
because the
Yeah.
title there, how to center empathy and emotional well-being, like one of the books we share in class, Michael Bunye Stanye's book. I talked about that today on my IG. It's a leadership book that centers coaching. And what people don't realize is some of those skills is great communication. So of course, you already know I'm going to get the book, and I just love the way you said, let it marinate. Because I often say that, let things resonate with you, let it land, don't rush it. We
Yeah.
always want this home run, slam dunk, touchdown, score off the bat, and a lot of times we don't let it process and just sit there, sit in your heart and marinate. So I
Yeah.
love that. Oh, Misha, my heart is so full.
Thank
My
you.
tea is
And
gone, and my
while
heart is
you're
full.
while you're looking into your empty teacup, what I will say to that, just what you were talking about, slowing down and marinating and pausing and not rushing into things. Even as a teacher, I had opportunities where I was stressed, right? I mean, we have a lot going on, but I would literally, and I know this is really brave, get ready. I would close my eyes in front of all 37 students, and I would say to them first, I need a moment. And I would close my eyes and I would tell them, you can join me in a breath or you can put your head down, but I need it to be quiet right now. And it was loving, but it was like, if you don't, this is not going to be good for anybody. And I never said that, but I think they knew, because there was chaos or there was disrespect or something happened, right? And I would just stand there and close my eyes and breathe.
Wow.
And more times than not, when I opened my eyes, the kids were breathing, at least half of them. So we don't have to jump and be impulsive about actions and reactions all the time, which coming from me as a reactive person, okay, I'm working on it, but we can model, right? We can model that in our relationships. We can model that in our careers. We can model that in the community, to be willing to slow down and pause and breathe and
Yeah.
ask people to join you.
Right.
People need to breathe. That's the only way we stay
That's so
alive.
beautiful. That's so beautiful. And Misha, I'll give you your flowers here in this space. One thing I've started doing in class, right, is when we come back from breaks and even at the start of class, in us sharing the space a few times, it's that even like I say, your book title, but that emotional well-being is just connecting with what you need in the moment. So now when we come back from class, a lot of times I say everyone who's willing, you don't have to, but I invite you to just put your hands over your heart, right? And let's take a few breaths as we settle back in. And I say, take a few, I'm going to do one, but take a few deep, impactful, intentional, and purposed breaths. And let's center back in the room. And then I say, shake it out. And I put my seatbelt on,
Yeah.
And so it's that thought right there of sometimes, we don't stop long enough to just say, let me breathe. Breath is a powerful thing that does so much when we can connect with it. So I love that. And the fact that you use that kindness and candor, right? We talked about say what you mean what you say, don't say it mean. I don't know what y'all gonna do, but I need a moment and I need it to be quiet. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna close my that's so awesome. I think I'm gonna use that. I think I'll use that next time I'm in a loud room. I just want to stand up and just do that, see if it works.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd be
That's
curious
awesome.
to see what happens. All of a sudden it's quiet. Everybody's looking at
take-
you going, and you just get to embrace the fact that you're a trendsetter.
Misha, I'm gonna text you and say, Misha, these people told me I can leave. It's a party. It's a reception. It ain't supposed to be quiet. Ain't nobody supposed to be breathing. We're supposed to be dancing.
This is my dance. This is my
It
dance.
didn't go well, Misha. I was in the middle of the dance floor, closed eyes and breathing, and Mike, can you move?
They called the ambulance. What's wrong with Mike?
Mike, can you move? You're in the way. Hey, I'm gonna say, listen, my friend Misha taught me this. Y'all can leave me alone. I need a break. Because by that time I'll be sweating through my shirt because I'm always dancing. I needed a moment, y'all. Leave me. Can everybody, DJ? Can you stop the music for a second?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, it doesn't work in all situations.
That's
but,
true, right? You're right. You got to be mindful. You got to be mindful and
you
aware.
might tiptoe away from the dance floor and just take your breath and then go back in.
Self-awareness, people. Self-awareness. Misha, with all the amazing things, right? Your path, what you've accomplished, what you've done, what you're doing right now in the book. Congratulations, by the way, on that. Doing that. And when you said that, it floored me. You said 2008.
Yeah.
It's a lesson even in that I started in 2008. And here it is. What is that? 12 years later? What's that? No, 14. What is the 15
years?
15 years. You know what?
But I stopped. I literally stopped for 13 years. So I just started a year and a half ago. Yeah.
But the point, right? The lesson that I get from that is that, it doesn't have to be rushed. People tell you just do it and do, because that's my quote since high school. Life's like Nike, just do it. But doing it doesn't always mean being in action, because had you not stopped for that 13 years or whatever, it probably wouldn't have the impact that it will have today, because you let it marinate. Wait a minute. Come on. Mic drop again. I mean, that's beautiful. Because, people always, they're in a rush. They're in a rush. And I tell you, even if it's 10, 15 years of your life, in the totality and grand scheme of this thing we call time and the universe, or whatever this thing is called life, that's nothing. That's but a drop in a bucket. And so, wow, that's so amazing. Misha, what's next for you? Superhero, amazing soul, trendsetter. What's next for you? What's the next thing that you're gonna?
Well, I have some speaking engagements that are going to be coming up in the next 6 months. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they all contract. I'm getting married. We don't have a date yet, but we're engaged.
Nice.
And I think it's just one day at a time kind of processing of I continue to want to make an impact on my own self-esteem and my own heart, so that I can show up better in spaces that support other people to grow in the way they want to grow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So y'all see what Misha is like, man, that's why we get along so well. It's just so. And look, I'm telling you, like, you can ask Felicia, like I'll say Misha, man. I brag on everybody really at CLCI, because I think
Yeah,
I tell
brag about
Lisa,
you too.
I tell Lisa, I said, Lisa, I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know what it is, what kind of litmus test y'all have, but I don't know how y'all are able to get such an amazing, open-minded, passionate, quirky group of people together that just are awesome in their own way, that comes together to do what we do so well, you know?
And
It's
diverse. I was talking to Troy about it.
diverse.
He's like,
Oh my
I've never worked
goodness.
for a company that had like such diversity.
Yes, like ever.
LGBTQ, BIPOC, I was like, you name it,
All of
right?
it.
Like, yeah, religion.
Yeah, I mean, all
It's
of it,
beautiful.
literally.
It's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah, it's
And
amazing.
okay, now put it back up. Put your background back up. It's
Put my background back.
exactly
You're
that
right.
thought.
You're right. It
It's
is.
exactly that thought. That is
It
as
is.
colorful as our emotions are. Wait, as colorful as our. So give it to me again, because that right
Yes.
there blew
We
my mind.
are a heart-centered community with colors as intense as our feelings and diverse as our people.
Colors as intense as our feelings and diverse as our people. Oh, woo.
Yeah.
Wow. Misha, okay, now here's the moment. Step to the microphone, pick it back up. Got to pick the mic back up.
Hold on.
Tell everybody how they can find out
Hello.
more
Hello.
about
Hello.
you,
Hello.
where they can contact you, follow you, get the book, #1 selling author, where they can get the book, any information that you want to share here in this space, because of course I'm going to go back and make sure all of that is in the description on Facebook
Okay.
and YouTube, and when I share it on IG. But take a moment to just tell people how they can definitely get the book, but how they can find you and connect with this awesome soul that sits in front of us today.
Okay, so I have a very short link for Amazon, but you could actually just go on Amazon and look at my name, and that actually comes up. It's pretty cool.
Boom.
So, Misha Safran, you can look it up by the book title, A Teacher's Companion. There are some other Teacher's Companions, but How to Center Empathy and Emotional Well-Being for Yourself and Your Students. But the link is super short. Maybe, I don't know, I can read it. So, https://a.co, which is like amazon.com, /D as in David, /B as in boy, 18K, 0, T as in Tom, B as in boy.
So Misha,
But you know what? We'll just drop it. We'll just drop it.
Misha,
What do I do? I'm only laughing because you're laughing. What did I do? What did I do?
No,
Tell me what I did.
you didn't do anything, but it's like, hold on, I'm crying now. Wait, Misha, wait, time out. Stop the press. Stop the pressing. Misha, you said it's very short. You're like, it's very short. It's simple. You built it up. And then
But it is. It totally is. It's just when
I
you
know,
say it out
when-
loud,
when
it's not. Look, I'm going to give it to you. You can say
when
it.
you
It's
see
very
it,
short.
when you see it, but Misha, wait, hold on, Misha. As you said it, by the time you said the second backslash and the third dot, I was like,
How long is this going on for? All right. Tell you what, it's even easier to find me on my website at
This is live.
www.ceq.org.
You know what? This is live. We gonna make it do what it do. Look, we gonna make it do what it do. I
What
got
does
you.
it do? What does it do?
I'm finna show you.
Oh, look what you did.
Boom.
Oh, Shalonda says
Let's
short and
go.
sweet. Yeah, I know.
Short and sweet. Yeah, short and sweet. All right.
Yeah, it would have been a lot longer though. I could have
Look,
taken the whole dang URL that was
Late
on
Shalonda,
there.
y'all, thank you so much for
I'm so glad y'all are here.
being here and rocking with us. But Misha said short and sweet.
I thought it was delicious, didn't you?
Okay, now let me just read this back, because this is awesome. This is what we do, y'all.
What are you gonna read back? You're gonna read the long end of the quote.
You said colon backslash a dot code like CO, and I thought you were done. And you said backslash D. Okay, done. Backslash B18KOT.
Okay, I'm gonna need my ice pack again.
I know. Be still. Be still. Y'all, and let me say this, y'all. Shout out to Misha, really, because just an amazing soul. And I don't know, we shared the space 2 times, 3 times in class, 2 times. I don't know how many times you rock with me.
I think almost 4, maybe.
Yeah, maybe so. And you've dealt with that shoulder pain, and now surgery. You're still recovering. You have this cast on and everything, and just to still show up and do what you do. That's testament to everything that you said earlier, right? Everybody, most people, because we are humans living a human experience, we have issues, we have challenges, we have traumas, we have experiences that can be setbacks, whatever, but opportunities as well. And are you going to take what you have been through to use it as that fuel to keep going, to share, to be able to put it in a book that's here, that's here, that will outlive all of us, something that has your heart in it, and it's for other people to marinate on. Oh, Misha, that's just so awesome. Misha, you've been awesome. What else do you want to leave the people with as we head out? Anything else you want to leave the people with? Again, shout out to everybody that watched live. We are going to post this.
For being here.
Thank you so much, Shalonda and Lace. I'm glad y'all got that laugh out with us as well.
It was with me, not at me, right?
Right. It was with us. Look, it was with us because I was with you. And then it just kept rolling. I was like, to be continued on Impactful Conversations Part 2.
All right. What do I want to say to the people? Love is more impactful. No, hold on. Take that back. Just trying to cause some laughs here. Yeah, rewind. Okay. Every once in a while, you need to wiggle. Okay. You need to wiggle.
Shake it out.
Okay, shake it out. We say it in class all the time. Slow down. You've got this. You're okay. But also that other people are okay too. And if we take the time, just to listen to our friends, to our family, to our coworkers, don't listen to the news. Then I think what we do is we can pass on some more compassion and love. But when we're rushing along, that's when chaos and anger and a lot of resentment can come through, because we're not really paying attention. Not paying attention to ourselves. And so we're not paying attention to ourselves, not taking care of ourselves, then we're definitely it's going to come out sideways for other people. And I know that because I've messed up some relationships this year as a result of not taking care of myself. My partner had to remind me, Misha, I said I was going to show up for her parents and for her because I had a bad reaction to something emotionally. And she just looked at me and said, I just want you to show up for yourself.
Wow.
And so I've been 5 months in showing up for myself again. And it makes a world of a difference. And I can say this because even when I was married and I was raising 5 kids and I was doing this and doing that and doing that, I was not taking care of myself. And I kept thinking, well, how do we take time to take care of ourselves? We've got all these different things to do, right? But the reality is, the more we take care of ourselves, the more time we have to be with other people.
Wow.
And so I really urge anyone who's listening, anyone who's watching, whatever that means for you, to take care of yourself. Is it helping your nutrition? Is it helping your sleep? Is it getting some exercise? Is it getting a coach? Is it getting a teacher, of some kind of a therapist? What is it going to be for you? Is it multiple things? Do it. Because you only get to live this life once. None of us get out of here alive. So make the best of it, but that means taking care of you before anybody. That's why they have the oxygen mask analogy on the airplane.
Yep.
If I had given my 2-year-old their oxygen mask when we were on the airplane and something went down, nobody's putting on my mask for me. Right? So I got to put my mask on before I put it on the 2-year-old or the 12-year-old or whoever it is. So
wow.
Do your breathing, folks.
Whew, Misha,
Yeah.
mic drop. Look. It's some things I can think of, but you know what? It don't even matter because guess what? It ain't about me. You crushed that, knocked that out the park. I
It
love
is
it.
about you because I
You
wouldn't
are
be here on this
amazing.
show if it was
No,
anybody else.
no,
I
no,
like
no,
you.
no,
I like
no.
you a
This
lot.
is
I
no,
love my
no,
brother.
no. We
Oh,
look. I was
right?
about to say
Everybody who's
no.
listening, don't we
I was
love
about,
Mike? We love Mike.
look. I
Right?
was
We
about to
love
say you
Mike.
don't like me. You love me. I
I
love
do.
you,
I love
Misha.
you.
I'm so amazing. Amazing. I'm so.
You are amazing. See, he loves himself. See, right there, total example
I'm
of
so
self-love and
amazed.
self-care.
For the people that know me, like, yeah, that's cool. That was Tar's energy coming out. I'm so amazed and in awe of just the connections that I'm being able to make in this space that we hold and this space that we sit in as facilitators for CLCI, and just the people that we're able to meet and just our team, first of all, but in meeting you and just like I say, from the jump, everything you're seeing now, everything you've shared, you know, it's felt. It was heartfelt from the beginning. You know what I mean? It was heartfelt from the beginning. So I thank you for sharing that. And like I say, it will be easy for me to add some stuff to it, but there's no need to add any sauce to what you just shared. It's beautiful. So to everybody, again, Misha, thank you so much for your time and for doing this. Y'all go get the book. I don't care if you ain't a teacher. You just like I say, you're the CEO of your life. You got to teach your life. You got to teach the people around you even how to treat you, how to be emotionally intelligent for you, right? And to center your empathy as well. So get the book, connect
you
with
can
me.
change the questions. You know, if a question says, I'll just say real quickly, if a question says, what options do you have to support building interpersonal connections with your students? You can just change it instead of students, your family, your friends, your coworkers.
Come on.
Right? But it is Teacher Appreciation Week. So if people
Yes,
want to
it
get
is.
teachers, so if you have a teacher you love or a teacher you wish you could love. Oh, wait, was I supposed to go like this again? Okay, hold on a second. Here it is.
Look, I'm just pointing at these two. I'm just pointing at these two teachers on the screen. Like,
that's right.
Tell a teacher thank you. Tell a teacher
thank
thank you.
you.
You know,
Thank you.
Misha, I love that too, Misha. I go in places and they say teacher discount or something, and I say, oh wow, I am a teacher. I'm a facilitator. I teach now, and it's a beautiful thing, man.
Big
because
discount. Woohoo!
my degree, come on. Yeah, no, give me a discount. Even though they don't give teachers discounts enough anyway, but so it's rare. But you know, the acknowledgement of doing that. And I did graduate from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, the School of Education. And so it's just right up my alley. Even though it was exercise science, I graduated in the School of Education.
It was
so
exercise science. That's still,
I was a teacher by heart.
We don't dismiss that.
I was a teacher by heart. Boom.
Yeah.
So yeah. Tell a teacher thank you, people.
Yep.
Tell a teacher
thank you, teachers. Yep.
Misha,
thank you, Mike.
educators out there. Teacher Appreciation Week. This was live. I'm going to put all the information in the description below. To all of you who watch, thank you. If you are not following me yet on YouTube,
oh, you better.
After seeing this amazing, dope, impactful conversations, come on. I have crossed over 500 again. So Misha, I got to 500 and then went away. 2 people left me. I'm like,
oh, they don't know what they're missing.
What did I do?
A huge mistake. Yeah,
what
they
did I
made
do?
a mistake.
We're back. I'm looking at, I think 505 now. So thank you
nice.
all. Connect. Misha, I want to make sure that I go back and put your channels and whatever you want me to add into the description. Make sure you're connecting. Thank you to everybody from Facebook, PNZ Life Coaching, at Coach Mike James. Even if on Facebook you don't remember my business name, I'm at Coach Mike James for their YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. If you type in at Coach Mike James, LinkedIn,
he gets around. Oh,
I'm there. And if I don't.
I'm sorry. No, Felicia. That was a joke. That was a joke.
I don't know. I just heard the song. Hey, get around. Anyway. Yeah. Thank y'all.
Nice to see everybody. Sort of see you.
Misha, you are so awesome. I appreciate you. And
thank you.
We'll see everybody next time on another Impactful Conversations. Peace.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.